signed Zeke? Why? I mean, come on, man. Are you kidding me? I know Jerry loves Zeke, but come on. Hey, there's my favorite center. I mean, at least he'll be good for the locker room? Well, best of luck, Zeke. You weren't really good here, but you were nice and you tried, so that's something. And I don't have to buy another jersey. I wonder who's gonna have a better season, Ezekiel Elliott or Saquon Barkley? I'm still upset about the whole Saquon thing. I can't wait to see Cowboys fans try to spin this into them winning a Super Bowl now. And he'll protect Dak. Dak will have more time to throw? Wait, you're not actually doing that, are you? We could actually get a rushing touchdown inside the red zone? No. You don't think you could actually win, right? This is not a good thing. And the Patriots' O-line was really bad last year. Do I need to call someone? And our O-line should be much better. Did the Cowboys get into my stash again? You know what? This could work. Screw it. This could work. I mean, if he averaged 3.5 yards per carry.
Oh.
Nope, still could work.
What's up, good people? Mark Holmes here. It is
I
want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally, and I mean literally, does not work. I hope everybody's had a great Monday. I want to replay a little something here. It is crazy to me. I'm trying to understand. Shout out to all the good people. Oh my goodness, everybody's in here. There's Miss Hot Sauce in the house. I got Joanne Gonzalez. What's up, JoJo? I got Lady Libra in the house. What's up, Lady Libra? I got Stacy Schubert, Roland's Review. What's up, Stacy? How are you doing today? Jeff Lee's up in here. Crazy Corvette. Vinny is in here. Derek Young. What's up, Derek? And Derek Walker Wade. What's up, Walker Wade? How you doing, man? I want to get Walker Wade's take on it, because Walker Wade, you know, just like shout out to my main man there, who was all over the place. You know, it's like we're really signing Zeke, and then you start thinking, well, you know, there was that run where Tony Pollard couldn't get in there in short yardage. And then you start thinking about pass protection and saying, well, you know, there's some good parts there. If Zeke is the only plan, then we're screwed. But I want to go through and listen to the talking heads, because, you know, it's funny how every time it's always doom and gloom when it comes to the Cowboys. No matter what, the Cowboys, they screwed the pooch. They did nothing. Now, I'm sitting here thinking, the Cowboys did more substance than sizzle. They didn't go for the flash in the pan, the running back, because actually, let's listen to him here real quick.
Cowboys to win the NFC East Thursday morning. Well, then you just haven't been paying attention to this show for the last 5 years.
I mean, the Cowboys have gotten worse.
Crazy Corvette. I'm here, bro.
The Eagles got
just a
much,
few
much
seconds
better.
late.
I made this point earlier. Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, this doesn't mean they're going to be great players, but they were both guys that many people, including me, expected to hear their names called much earlier than they did.
100%, and they address needs, like you said, even going back to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. But I think more fundamentally, Saquon Barkley is going to keep Jalen Hurts healthy. That's why I think they win the division.
How about it, Danny?
Yeah, the Eagles are the best team in that division, and they had one of the best drafts in football. They attacked both, not only needs, Greeny, but they got two really good players. Their secondary was not good last year. If these two young men are really good players, this secondary would be markedly improved. I do think for the Eagles season
Walker Wade, shout out to you, bro.
Kind of what it was 2 years ago. The young kids from last year's draft.
I'll check it out.
Step forward. Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean. I'd say this about the Cowboys. The Cowboys had a really good draft, but they're going to rely on those two offensive linemen they took in the first 3 rounds, Guyton and Beebe. If those two players are really good players.
Now hold on for a second here. Wait a minute. Okay, I had to stop this for a second here. Walker Wade, I will definitely check that out after the live stream. So let me see if I get this straight. They just praised the Eagles about the draft picks, the two guys that they're going to plug in, that they got them earlier than they should. They got better, right? Isn't that what they just said? Now, the Cowboys, they just got two young guys. They're going to plug them in, right? And it's like, oh, I don't think it's going to work.
I still think this would be a two-team race with Philadelphia as the favorite.
You know, I'm not sure how many people watched our pre-draft show Friday night, because there was an NBA game on up against us. But we were talking, and Lewis and Mel and Booger and I, and in particular, that the Cowboys are really in trouble.
Ryan Craigie.
That was the general feeling that emerged, even more than I expected. There was a moment in time last year
Shout
when
out
the
to
Eagles were
Ryan
10-1.
Craigie.
I understand that it all fell apart in hideous fashion, but it's not like they're starting from zero. They were already a good team, and the Cowboys, they have so many glaring needs and so little opportunity. They signed Zeke Elliott. Is that official, by the way?
They're pending a physical. I believe that's expected to happen.
I mean, this is their answer at running back? I'm confused.
Yeah, Greedy, here's context. The Philadelphia Eagles draft Will Shipley to be a backup. He would by far be the best running back for the Cowboys.
So they're still going to do something at running back, right?
I believe they will. Running backs always shake loose. I think there are guys that could get traded and cut this summer that could be appealing to them.
Why is Dan doing that? What?
I mean, Zeke was solid last year behind a really bad offensive line.
It's funny that Dan you're lousy.
Again, if those two offensive linemen they drafted in the first 3 rounds are two good starters, huge for their offensive line. The second element of this, when does CeeDee Lamb show up?
Correct. And I mean, without a new contract, I think it's very likely the answer to that is not for a very long time. So that's a whole other set of issues they have to deal with. Let me get in one more because it's fun and it is actually also potentially interesting. The Raiders didn't get a quarterback in 2024.
Come on, Orlowski.
So, wait a minute. Let me see if I got this straight. So, the Cowboys who won the division, shout out to Ken Ark. I totally understand the two offensive linemen, but passing on a running back was total idiotic. One has to question those who are making those choices. Well, Ken Ark, here's the thing. By the time you got into the 5th round or the 4th round is where they all went, okay? The 4th round is where all the running backs went. You really just did not have a chance after that. And see, here's the thing. I think that this is what the Cowboys were doing, making a calculated decision. Think about this for a second. When you think about a running back, okay, think about a running back, you're looking at a shelf life of about 4 years, okay? About 4 years. And you look at that and say, do we go ahead and draft a running back right now for a guy that's going to be there 4 years, or do we look at this and say, we need more substance than sizzle? Okay? We need guys to go ahead and light up and jack, that are going to be there for a long time. When you think about taking a first-round pick or, the 3rd-round pick, if both of those guys go through, you're talking about 8-10 years worth of players being able to play at an elite level. The running back, they're looking and saying, if we have a good rushing attack, okay, if we have a good offensive lineman, we can possibly get away with lesser running backs. That was the calculation that they made. Now, here's my thought, okay? Now, maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm crazy. But think about this for a second. The Cowboys, the Zeke Elliott deal is not completed at the moment, and there's a reason why it's not completed. I'm trying to, for some reason, I'm trying to hit these buttons and get them on. Ryan Craigie, shout out to Ryan. Dan Orlowski ran out of a three back of the end zone when he played football. He shouldn't be allowed to talk football. The funny thing is he was the only one that actually gave the Cowboys credit on their draft picks. So here's the thing. If they had signed any players in free agency before the turnover, which I think is tomorrow at 4 o'clock, okay? Tomorrow at 4 o'clock, you're no longer penalized if you if you sign a guy whose contract is bigger than what you lost or as big, okay? So that's the reason why the Cowboys, and they just don't want to, haven't signed any big-name free agents. I know I've gotten emails and people are laughing and saying, you're crazy to sign Zeke Elliott. Well, here's the thing. Zeke is anywhere near where he used to be. And I'm not looking for him to be an every down back. He'll be a specialist. He'll be a third down guy. He'll be a pass blocking guy. He will be short yardage guy. If that is the only thing that we do as far as running back, then I'm going to say, yeah, we were stupid on that. That's not enough. But you do have now draft capital that you can use for trading. Think about what we did with Brandon Cooks, okay? For example, Brandon Cooks, we took a 5th-round pick and got him, right? We got him on the cheap, basically, because they wanted to get rid of him, right? The Baltimore Ravens signed Odell Beckham Jr. to a $15 million deal. They took a dead money hit this year to get rid of him after 1 year. Brandon Cooks had a better season than Odell Beckham did. So you could look at it and say our free agency moves were kind of Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore. They could be doing this. Tay Cowboys in the house. What's up, Tay? Miss Hot Sauce, Lola, I'm still trying to figure out how I can't seem to get it to work on this system. But you know you're Miss Hot Sauce, Lola. So that's the thinking there. Now, everybody is killing the Cowboys, but hey, at least they're getting their feet wet right now because they've also signed and brought back Damian Wilson. Damian Wilson ended up being on a practice squad at the end of the year. That's not the answer either. But here's the thing that at least should give you hope. The Cowboys are always signing bottom-tier free agents. We know that, right? Dontari Poe's, the Clinton Ha-Ha Dixes, the Gerald McCoys, the Emerson Griffins, we didn't get shit out of them. We didn't. We didn't get anything out of them. But the J-Ron Curses that we've signed, you get some success stories that are in there. The Hankins signing, guys like this, the Dante Fowlers. You get some of these guys that are decent players, and you get them at a reduced rate. And you can look around and say, some of the big-name free agents, like take a look at some of the receivers that the Giants have signed. Take a look at some of the D-backs that that the Eagles have signed, and they're getting burned in safeties. So don't think that just because you spent a whole bunch of money in free agency early on that you're necessarily going to get better. Because here's where I've been pissed off and on the fence and trying to look to the other side. I've got kind of an analytical mind. It's not a great mind. I was a wedge buster. But here's where you have to go back and look at this. If the Cowboys used to go through and get free agents and have great success with it, right? And then all of a sudden they stopped. This year, we're not signing any free agents. And you would look at that and say, well, what you were doing before was working. Now you stop. You could say that the Cowboys will be terrible. But guys, this is what they do every year. This is not new. After Dak Prescott broke his leg, we had Andy Dalton starting quarterback. Ben DiNucci started the game, right? We won 6 games. What did we do the next year to get better? What free agents did we bring in here to get better? Nobody, right? But we went from 6 wins, we doubled that to 12-5. Now, here's the next thing I'm going to point out. Half of the teams that made the playoffs last year, on average, won't make it next year, right? It's always turnover. Think about the Giants the year before. Everybody thought, Daniel Jones, he's finally arrived. Oh, my God, the Giants, they got the right coaching staff. They're a young team. They're building. Daniel Jones is the real deal. And what happened to them? They dropped off the face of the earth. They had the typical NFL turnover. The Cowboys, they haven't gone through that cycle. It's been 12. I know it's not Super Bowl, I get that. But just to be able to do that part says you're doing something right. They didn't do anything after that 6-12 season. They didn't do anything after the 12-5 season. They didn't do anything after the 12-5 season in free agency. But here's where I look at this. They say the Cowboys, they didn't do anything to get better. I dare say I actually feel better. Alan Williams in the house. Oh, he's cracked. Laugh it out. Eagle fans, chill. Y'all have Kellen Moore as your OC. There you go. And see, this is where it's funny. Do y'all remember last year when they killed us because they said, oh, my God, Mike McCarthy, and they implied like he just fell off the salad truck. He is going to call plays. Oh, my God. Mike McCarthy? Mike McCarthy is going to call plays? You let go Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore is a genius. He's one of those young guys that can relate to the players. He knows what he's doing. You got Mike McCarthy. You remember that, right? They said the Cowboys lost a coordinator. That's going to affect the team, right? Just like they did with the Eagles here. They didn't say anything about the Eagles losing offense and defensive coordinators. They still kept saying, great team, great coaching staff, they're Super Bowl favorite. Remember that, right? They're going out. Remember, they said, oh, my God, they had a great draft. They've got all kinds of guys. They got Kevin Byard and stuff. They traded for him. And, we got Jalen Carter and, of course, the first-round pick, Jordan Davis, and he's incredible. He's good for 5 plays a game. They said all these things about the Eagles. And what they foreshadowed on the Cowboys, the problems with the coordinators, were exactly what happened to the Eagles. Their offensive coordinator had to get up out of here. He had to go. Their defensive coordinator, they had to get rid of him again. They now have that same problem again, changing coordinators. So as they continue, I hope they continue to say the Cowboys are going to suck. The Cowboys, they got a lot of holes to plug. The Eagles didn't. The Eagles didn't. Didn't they just lose their center? Their all-world center? Wasn't their defense literally ass? Didn't they lose Fletcher Cox? Didn't they lose Hassan Reddick? Right? Didn't they? Frida Holmes. Oh, what's up, Twiz Digger in the house? How's everybody doing? So I'm like, you know what? I don't know how all the players will meld, but you can't look at this and say that the Cowboys are worse. Now, let me check out the chat here. Dak has his best year with Kellen Moore. Mark, get a grip. Oh, bro. Mouse. Bro. He had a better running game when he had Kellen Moore. Okay? He was runner-up MVP with 36 TDs, which led the NFL, and only 9 interceptions, with a running attack that was 500 yards less than the year before. Bro, sorry, Dak Prescott played better. The year before when Kellen Moore was here, he did break his thumb, but he was tied for the lead in interceptions. I dare say having CeeDee Lamb break the Dallas Cowboys' all-time single-season yardage record as a receiver, CeeDee didn't do that on his own, bro. He had to have somebody throw it to him. He had to catch it. It was the two of them together. And that was what changing the offensive coordinator to Mike McCarthy. So I don't know what you're talking about, bro. I don't know what you're talking about. Now, here's what I'll say. All you Eagle fans can kiss my ass. That's the first thing I'm going to say. But here's what I'm going to say. And you can't deny what I'm about to say, Eagle fans. Actually, Cowboy fans. Think about 2020. Think about 2020 when our defense was historically the worst defense in the history of the Cowboys. And it was so bad that D-Law came out and even said, we're soft. think about this past year when we played against physical teams that can run the football. Buffalo, Miami, Young Boy Jay. What's up, Young Boy Jay? What's good, Holmes? Been a long-time fan of your work, man, but happy Zeke is back. I think we can use him. But he's not the lead back any longer. He is a role player. He is a short yardage specialist, and he is a blocking back to help with the keep Dak Prescott upright. And I'm okay with that. It's going to be running back by committee. But every time we get punched in the face, I hate to say it, but the Cowboys have been soft. They get bullied. They get pushed around. Remember when San Francisco came to town that 3 years ago? Or was it 2 years ago? They came through. They had the boombox playing and everything else. They came out there, and they literally just out-physicaled us. They beat us down. Part of that is with the makeup of our team. Now, Dan Quinn was given a shit sandwich of a defense to try and rebuild. I don't know if the Joneses gave him everything that he wanted. He improved us. He ended up turning us into a takeaway machine. He turned us into a team that sacked a lot. But we still had the same glaring weakness of not being physical. We just were not physical in the way that we need to be when it comes to the playoffs. And what the Cowboys did, instead of going through, because everybody, you should have gotten the running back. Okay. Which is better? It's a real question. Which is better? Have a great offensive line and an average running back? Or an average offensive line and a great running back? Serious question. Barry Sanders, arguably the greatest running back in football. How much winning did Detroit do with a shitty offensive line? You got to look at how you spend your money and your draft picks. And do you look and say, if I get a great offensive lineman, if I get a center who's a juggernaut, who can stop getting pushed into the lap of the quarterback, he's going to help the running back and he's going to help the quarterback, because every single play, he has an impact. A great running back only has an impact on 25 plays. That's playing the numbers. I'd rather have a good running back and a good offensive line. Well, who's to say we're not going to have a good running back? Who's to say we're not going to have one? You have potentially, here's what I'm going to say. Cooper Beebe, he is physical. He's the type of guy who wants to crack some skulls. I don't know if anybody else has gotten the connection, but to me it looks like his shoulder pads are all up in here. He reminds me of Juggernaut. You know, the super villain? Or is it, I can't remember. Is he villain or not? I can't remember. I don't watch enough Marvel. But Juggernaut, that's what he looks like to me. And then you got Tyler, the TNT side. He's another one. I'm here to hurt people. I like that attitude. And with his size, he's going to need to get some more strength. He's going to get some more experience. Those guys with Tyler Smith and Zach Martin, you got a physical offensive line right now. You've got an extremely physical offensive line. You have to like that. And if we can start pushing people around, Zeke back there to help give Dak Prescott a little more time, make a couple other moves, maybe get another weapon at wide receiver, get yourself another back to throw into the mix, and get yourself another line, we're not far away from having a complete team. Convince me otherwise. I totally agree with you, Alan. What did Jay Recruiter just say? 2020 Dallas Cowboys led the league in turnovers. Last 6 games, okay. Well, that would be the only bright spot because they gave up more points that season than anybody else. Anybody ever in the history of the Dallas Cowboys. Can BB run the ball? Okay, all right. He who laughs last laughs the loudest. Now, the next thing I'm going to say is when I look at the moves that the Cowboys have just done, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me, but I look at this and I say, I think that this was about appeasing Dak Prescott and making him feel good. You bring back his best friend. You know, Aaron Rodgers always wanted to have all of his receivers and stuff, his guys there. They did that in New York to appease him. Right? Bringing back Zeke, that's his buddy. That's familiarity. That's like, okay, I got that. Going through and getting 2 really high prospect offensive linemen for Dak, you look at the Dak and say, okay, I got Zeke back, and now I got me some young stud offensive linemen that are going to give me some more time. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. So I think that partially, I still believe, Derek Young, I agree with you, Linda. Y'all, you did good for sure. Trotter is underrated. He's also undersized, too. The problem for the Eagles will be is their linebackers, kind of the syndrome we had last year, are all very small. Nakobe Dean is kind of small. Jeremiah Trotter Jr. is very small. And that's a case where they might get out physical. Randy, Cowboys will trade for running back or wait for teams with a plethora to release someone like. And that's what I keep saying. Thank you, Randy. Randy, you have great insight, and that's what I keep trying to tell people. Eagle fans are in there like, oh, you're so stupid, man. You're bringing back Zeke. And even Cowboy fans, what are you doing? Why are you the Zeke? Trust me, the cake is not baked just yet. It's not. Y'all really want to cuss me out right now? Because I'm going to say another thing that y'all will probably laugh at me at. Y'all want to laugh at me? I'm serious. Mike Singletary was small. Look at how good he did. Okay, all right. I think they brought Zeke back to appease Randy. Shout out to Randy. That's exactly my thoughts exactly. That's one of those ones to make Dak happy. Because we don't know, when the Cowboys said we're going to wait until training camp to get his deal done, we don't know if that's because of Dak saying, you know what, bro, I'm going to kick back and see what we do here. I'm not in any rush to sign. We got plenty of time to sign the contract. And it may be Dak is kind of like, maybe this is Dak Prescott's way of saying, you want me to stay here. You want me? You want me here, right? Let's see what you're going to do to make this team good enough. Because if I'm Dak Prescott, I'm looking at this as I'm always the fall guy. I'm always the one that's getting cussed at. I'm the one that's taking the bullets for the organization, right? When you guys don't do shit. Mark, stop making excuses for Zeke. What excuse am I making for Zeke? You 49er fans are just stupid, man. I'm sorry. I'm not making an excuse. Zeke is old. I've killed Zeke. What are you talking about? I said Zeke Elliott hasn't done shit in the playoffs since the Green Bay Packers. What excuses have I made? Against you guys, he didn't get 30 yards in either of those playoff games. That's inexcusable. That's not all on him. That's also the offensive line and the play calling by Kellen Moore. What excuses? I get sick of you dumbass freaking 49er fans that think you're all high and mighty. But bro, you may have been to 3 more Super Bowls since we've been to one. But guess what? You lost all 3, bro. You lost all 3. Your coach didn't literally know the rules for overtime. And you come in here all high and mighty like you done some shit. You're as bad as the damn freaking Eagles that ain't did shit last year and sitting here talking about us, the same team that lost 6 of 7 games when they should have had home field advantage wrapped up, and your ass shouldn't have even been in the Super Bowl. But they screwed up. They sucked. They dropped the bomb. They were a big, fat, juicy turd. Neither of you two got room to talk about shit. Because guess what, bro? It was 1995 the last time we won a Super Bowl. But you know what? Your team, the last time they won was 1994. So those who live in glass houses shouldn't cast the last stone. Or shouldn't throw stones. Shit. Sorry ass bitches. Get sick and tired. Christina Johnson in the house. What's up, Christina? It's true that Zeke coming back. It is true that Zeke will be coming back, but the Cowboys will wait until the deadline for the compensatory picks no longer being counted, okay? Because here's the thing, okay? How the compensatory picks, which is big, okay? When you think that the Cowboys traded 2/5 last year and ended up bringing in Brandon Cooks, who was our number 2 receiver, and bringing in Stephon Gilmore, who after we lost Diggs was our number 1 cornerback. Those 2 fifth-round picks were key. The Dallas Cowboys should be in line to get 3 fifths and 1 sixth. That is trade capital that you will have. You won't have it in your hands until after the season, of course, this year, but you still have your other 5th and 6th round picks that you can use to trade now for players. And that's where they will probably make a move to trade for another running back. And I wouldn't be surprised if Stephon Gilmore, after getting healed up from his shoulder, isn't brought back. Because what I was going to say before I got rudely interrupted by a sorry-ass 49er fan who was just here player hating, okay?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, real hating, man, that's like an art form, man. You know, it's like, you like a born a hater, you know, like myself, man. You know, a lot of cats think they hate, but, man, I mean, I'm mad at everything, man. You know, brother got a nice car, man. Why you got a car,
That's you,
man?
bro.
I only got 1 car. Why you got 3 cars or a wife or all that, man? That's played out, man. I hate on it till he's totally broke and ain't got nothing like me, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, that's what real hating is all about, man.
That's what real hating is all about. So here's the thing. You're asking... Short Dog, okay? Is BB going to play center? Well, apparently the Cowboys had already talked to BB about playing center when they had their 30 visits. They looked at him and said, look, bro, we'd like you to play center. That's the spot we need you. We've got 2 all-pro guards. I don't know if you want to wait till Zach Martin's ready to retire, which could be at the end of this year. It could be. You never know. Or would you like to be our lights-out center? Now, it will be him and Brock Hoffman competing for the starting center role. But I'm kind of betting that Brock Hoffman won't be the center, that he's going to be the backup, that they're going to try and plug him in right now because the guy is big, he's physical, he's raw. But I want you to understand something. In his college career of 1,259, I won a TNT shirt. I told my wife, listen, Randy, you'll be the first one on the list. When I woke up this morning, I was telling my wife, I said, 2 things I want to discuss with you, baby, besides you being fine. Actually, 3 things. I said, you know, you look really good, baby. You just look so beautiful first thing in the morning. Second thing was, I said, listen, I need you to do me a shirt. Figure out with all of your design capabilities. TNT. I said, I don't know if you want to have the plunger, the old style plunger, like blowing up dynamite, a couple sticks of dynamite blowing up and things, or if you just want to have like, you know, a pack of fire, you know, TNT, dynamite, or, you know, to be creative. And she said, well, it really sounds like a law firm. I said, yeah, you could say it's like a law firm, but see, ain't nobody scared of, I mean, we're going to scare the competition by suing them? No. Dynamite. Boom. Blow that hole open. Blow, explosion. Blow. That's why you want TNT. And I know now Mike McCarthy's saying it and Jerry Jones is saying it, but you guys who were here live with me that first night, as we are leaving the draft and we're walking around with my hurt knees, okay? My knees were screaming at me, and literally, I'm going to tell you how bad my knees were. In Arnold Schwarzenegger, with Judgment Day, the second one, okay? When you had the guy, who was the metallic guy, and he got frozen, and he's walking, and his legs snapped off. That's how my knees felt. After standing for 6 hours in the same spot, that's literally how my knees felt. But we're walking back trying to get to the people mover, and I'm saying, because at first I was thinking like my wife, Smith and Smith? Do we want... excuse me, Tyler and Tyler? So that's a law firm. I said, or TNT. I said, nah, we want to be TNT. We want to be TNT. And I can pull up the tape if you guys don't believe me. I can pull it up. But that's what we're going to do. So I think with Tyler Guyton, who is 6'7", 328 pounds, he's going to need to get a little bit stronger. He's going to need more experience. But he's got great size, and he's got a great first step. Now, he's been playing mostly on the right side, but at Oklahoma, his quarterback was left-handed, so that was the blind side. Now, understand this. Them boys kicks, what's up? Crazy Corvette, Eagles. You guys just mad that the Cowboy... Do I look mad? Oh, let me do a poll. Hold on. It's funny how people are always telling me how I feel. It's funny. Okay. All right, so there. We'll do this as a poll because I'm actually, this is the best I've felt since the offseason. But you know what's funny, Eagle fan? Bro. You know what's funny, Eagle fan? Is it's true. You guys are forever doing all kinds of stuff. You guys are always the team that everybody talks about how much they do and how great they are and everything else. I dare say you guys choking down the stretch and losing 6 of 7 games down the stretch. 6 of 7 games down the stretch. That you guys should be looking in the mirror and trying to figure out what happened. Remember, you guys had the most unstoppable play. You probably can look in the history of the NFL, and I bet you that the tush push had a better conversion rate than any other play in the history of football. I bet you that that's the case. You guys had the best offensive line, right? You had 2 stud receivers. You had Jalen Hurts, a $51 million man. You had everything. You had Dracula, the coach. Nick Sirianni, the vampire, who's up there, joking at people and, shutting people the F up and this, that, and the other, right? And we, the little old Cowboys, we don't do anything. But yet, you still have a hard time beating us. You know what I wish for, Eagle fan? Here's what I wish for. I wish we would play you guys in the playoffs. For whatever reason, we don't ever have success against the Green Bay Packers. And 49ers of recent years, we don't have success against them. But we do have success against you. Mark, you scared of our new running back? No. You ain't going to be any better than Christian McCaffrey. But, 49er fan, here's what you're looking at, bro. I hate to tell you, man. The record after losing the Super Bowl, and everybody thought, oh, the Eagles, that's okay, man. They were so close in that Super Bowl. They're going to be all right. They're Super Bowl favorites. Remember that? You remember that. They kept saying, oh, they're going to win the division back-to-back. Man, they got it made, man. And then they went out and they did some more things. You remember that, right? They lost to Baker Mayfield in Tampa Bay. At least we beat Tom Brady. Now here's the funniest thing. Here's the funniest thing for you Eagle fans. Bro, when my quarterback Dak Prescott threw for 4 TDs and rushed for 1 touchdown, they said it was just Tampa Bay. Yeah, it was just Tampa Bay. No big deal. The Zeke pre-Elliott, we aren't. Hold on. Ooh, hold up. Shout out in the super chat. We aren't mad, bro. Y'all got bust ass never was Barkley and lost 3 very good players that were the heart of the team. But you did something Swift. Swift was twice the back you just paid for. I can agree with that one 100% because you know what the thing about it's a shame that I got all these damn trolls in here that are keeping me from talking about what I want to talk about. But you are 100% right because the thing about Saquon Barkley is his best games are early in the season. By the end of the season, if he's not injured, he's a shadow of himself. Y'all joking about Zeke Elliott and his 3.5 yards to carry in New England? Bro, last game of the season, Saquon was 2.3. And I'm also going to say Saquon, after about the midpoint of the season, I don't believe he had a game that he averaged more than 4 yards a carry. But you feel good. Feel good. Be happy. I'm happy you guys feel that you are up here. Okay, I'll see you later, Mark Holmes. I'm going to watch the That's My Jan. Okay, thanks, Christina. I appreciate you being here. Mark, the 4 owners, these chats are going so fast, are through. Yeah, and so this is going to be the problem for you 49ers. One of your receivers, Brandon Ayuk or Debo, seems to be on the way out. That's going to hurt that team. That's really going to hurt that team. And trying to repeat, that's going to hurt the team. I'm telling you, it's not as easy as you think, bro. It's not as easy as you think. But that's okay. Keep living the dream there. Exactly, a Cowboy. Jalen had a Super Bowl, but he fumbled. Bad toss. A badass. Yeah. And last year, he went downhill. Does anybody out there? This is, Mark, we beat Tom Brady when he was practically in a nursing home. Yeah, true. True, Walker Wade. But the Eagles lost to Baker Mayfield. That's all I'm saying. My point on it, Walker Wade, was they said, oh, well, it was just Tampa Bay. It was just Tampa Bay. No big deal, right? We beat them. Let me say this again, Wade. We beat them, destroyed them, and it was like, it's just Tampa Bay, don't count. The Eagles lose to them, and nobody remembers with Baker Mayfield. Nobody remembers. Nobody talks about it. Nobody says shit. My point being is they went off a cliff the end of last season, and now they got Kellen Moore. Do you honestly believe that Kellen Moore, who got run out of out of L.A., with Justin Herbert, is going to be the one to turn around Jalen Hurts? I think that's a bad mix. Kiwana Gibson, what's up, Kiwana? How are you doing? Eagles? You can keep thinking that, bro. You can keep thinking that. Jalen Hurts' playoff record is 2-3. With a great offensive line and great weapons. And you're free to believe what you want to believe. Tay Cowboys in the house. What's up, Tay? Oh, NFC Championship rings count. Okay. All right. Cool beans. Go ahead. I'm sure he will put that on his grave if he doesn't win a Super Bowl. I got an NFC Championship ring. Biggest collapse last year was the Eagles, no question, giving up division lead. Seriously. And that's where I'm kind of like, Eagle fans seem to forget this. You would think that the Eagles think that they beat the Cowboys twice last year and that they went deep in the playoffs and the Cowboys, are merry little sisters of the poor or something. Neither of us did jack in the playoffs, bro. Neither of us. Right. Do they believe that we retired Tom Brady? Tom Brady was talking about trying to come back still. Where am I streaming from, Scott? I am at the Red Brick House in Central Virginia, a historic property that we have rebuilt, literally from the ashes just about. Eagles love silver medals. Eagles, did you win? There you go. The NFC Championship, that goes back. The NFC Champs goes back to the World Championships as well. Clement, I would believe that Zeke Elliott will be taking his 21 back, but we don't know for sure. Technically, I think it has to be Wednesday is when he actually will be signed because we don't want to lose one of the comp picks. If they sign him like today or tomorrow, I think we lose a compensatory pick. All right, so I've been sidetracked and hijacked by all these damn fools in here. Linda, oh, lovely Linda in the house.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night.
Have had a securities license for over 25 years, and past performances do not guarantee future performances. Stop comparing it. It's worthless. It's worthless. True to identity, your team, and progress, and then go from there. There you go. Shout out to Linda because she's 100% right. It's like flipping a coin. You can flip a coin 49 times, and it might be heads every single time, but you flip it again, it's still a 50-50 chance of it being right. I mean, a heads or tail. And that's the truth. But I will look and I will say the Eagles trending. Eagles fans, bro. Okay. Convince yourself that Kellen Moore is the answer the way the Chargers did last year. They literally said, oh, man, Kellen Moore, man, he was hamstrung because he had a garbage-ass quarterback, Dak Prescott, to work with. Now, he's coming here with the Chargers where he's got a young stud. Wait till he has, oh, man, he had chopped liver with Dak Prescott, man. He got filet mignon with Justin Herbert. How'd that offense do, bro? How'd that offense do? Did he get a head coaching job after going to the Chargers and doing so well with Justin Herbert? Did he get a head coach? Because I didn't miss. Is he head coach of the Eagles right now? Because of the great work he did with there, right? But the funny thing is, the Cowboys changed up the offense. And Dak Prescott played better. Justin Herbert played worse. And so, what's the excuse for him with Justin Herbert? I'm asking for a friend, Eagle fan. I'm asking for a friend. Linda is talking to all you Cowboys. Yeah. Which is why when they say that the Cowboys have done nothing, that the Cowboys are plugging in some young players and stuff, they're not looking at themselves and doing the same thing. I can say, yeah, we lost Dante Fowler, role player. We lost Dorrance Armstrong, who was a starter. I'll say we lost Hankins, who was an aging one technique guy, right? I will say we lost Tyron Smith, which is, when Tyron Smith is healthy, an incredible player. Not the same player that he was 6 years ago, but an incredible player that's averaged 7.5 games over the last 4 years. I'll say we lost Biotish, an average center. I'm going to say you Eagles fans lost a Hall of Fame center. Y'all don't remember that, do you? Y'all lost a Hall of Fame center. Y'all lost your best pass rusher. A guy who you guys have said is better than Micah Parsons and Hassan Reddick. Y'all don't remember that? Y'all don't remember saying that Hassan Reddick is as good or better than Micah Parsons. You lost that guy. You lost Fletcher Cox. I don't think any of the players that the Cowboys lost are anywhere near the caliber of those guys. I'm not making excuses. No, actually, I'm making excuses for you, Eagle fans. You guys that think that you are high and mighty. You guys, if I look and say, okay, Dorrance Armstrong is probably the biggest player that we lost versus Hassan Reddick. Dorrance Armstrong ain't Hassan Reddick, bro. Dorrance Armstrong is not Hassan Reddick. You lost that guy. We lost this guy. We lost Tyler Biadasz. You lost Kelsey. That's like this. Kelsey's a Hall of Famer. Biadasz, shit. Come on, man. Seriously. Fletcher Cox. In comparison to, say, Hankins, there's no comparison. The losses you guys had were huge. And at least my offense during the regular season was hitting with my offensive coordinator in Mike McCarthy, right? Yours was so bad, you fired him and hired a guy who used to be here, who basically failed last season. So how is it that you guys went off a cliff that you feel like you are better than the Cowboys at this moment? Because we're all 0-0. Mark, we can make it back to the bowl. We've been to the championship 3 times in a row. Yes, you have been. You have been. And you've been to the Super Bowl. Not saying that you haven't. Anybody can. The question is, will they? But it's hard to stay up there and continue to do that. We'll see. We'll see, bro. We'll see. Eagle fans, hit that like button. And mind you, 49er fans and Eagle fans that are here trying to trash the Cowboys, what you really need to be worried about, what we all really need to be worried about, is them damn Lions. I ain't going to lie to you. The Lions may be the best team in the NFC right now. Yeah. Yeah, I said it. I said it. They are, and you talk about a fan base that is getting crazy. Man, they up there, these Lion fans aren't the Lion fans that I used to remember on Thanksgiving that were always kind of going through with the tail between their legs because they always lost Thanksgiving games. I got cussed out by as many Lions fans as I did by 49er fans, as I did by Eagle fans. The Browns have the same amount of chips the Eagles do, laugh out loud. Nobody's scared of Jared Goffey. Okay. Other than 2017, the Eagles have been a joke. Half the snaps with 10 sacks. Look it up. Air McCants, 11s. Okay. They look like they got a good team, but we'll see. I'm not, no, don't get me wrong. Here's the thing. Don't get me wrong, 49er fans and Eagle fans. I am not saying that you guys aren't good teams. Unlike you guys that are, Cowboys, they ain't shit, man. Fuck the Cowboys, they suck, man. You make it sound like we are literally the worst team in football. That we don't beat. That we get 2 wins a season. You guys act like we're worse than the Giants and the Commanders. Bro. Thomas, you're 100% right. You know, when they hired Dan Campbell, he was the joke. Twiz Digga, AX2 is coming for Joe Boo's head. Okay, Twiz. You know, I keep hearing everybody keeps coming for Joe Boo's head, but his head, as you can see, is still attached, bro. It's still attached. But I appreciate the super chat, though. Damn. I wanted to talk about the draft, but here it is, having to do battle with you mother humpers. All right. So between getting Guyton and getting Nealon, I'm going to say, is part of the reason or the solution the Cowboys are trying to get of being more physical. Marshawn Nealon is a really good run-stopping linebacker. Really good. And this is one of the problems that we had. You don't win 12 games 2 years in a row and are a bad team. Thank you, Walker Wade. Thank you very much. And that is 100% right. And so when you look at the core group of this team, it needs more help. San Francisco, Casey Stewart. What's up, Casey? San Francisco Eagles. I'm going to say, and I know Philly 500 will cut a clip of this because they'll take it out of context. I wish my Cowboys would do things like you guys do, where you look at it and say, we're a really good team. How can we become a great team? Let's go out and get a Christian McCaffrey, right? Let's go out and get a Hargrave. You know, let's go out and get a A.J. Brown or a Swift or even roll the dice on Saquon and think that Saquon's going to be the answer. But Saquon, y'all gonna be looking back, why the hell did we sign Saquon? Yeah, you can call me a hater. Big Dog, Washington team. Oh, my God. Now the Commanders are doing, oh, Lordy.
My home team, my loyalty, I'm at Uptown Royalty. We fight for all DC, who are we? I speak facts.
Yeah. I'm just waiting for a Giant fan, I guess, now. Any Giant fans want to chime in? Comey's the second best team. Commanders ain't going to do shit, please. Oh, man. I got news for fans. 49ers and Eagles, the Lions ain't going nowhere, and Packers ain't going nowhere. Play the next challengers who win the championship. Well, here's the thing on as far as Green Bay goes. Again, you don't know what you don't know. Nobody expected the Cowboys to go 12-5 3 years in a row. I'm surprised they went 12-5 3 years in a row. I wish they had more playoff success. I do. Trust me, I do. But that's not easy to do. But Jordan Love had his first season of being a starter. C.J. Stroud, same thing. First year being a starter. What happens typically, you remember that sophomore slump? There's a reason why that is teams study what you do. They find out your tendencies. They find out your weaknesses and things. And they come after those. RG3 literally was revolutionizing football. And, of course, he tore up his knee. But teams realize he's not real good as a pocket quarterback. Jar Magis, fly Eagles fly. Much love, Mark. Can't wait for the season. I can't wait for it either, my man. I appreciate that. We'll put you in the drawing jar. We got to start doing those drawings again, too. And I think we're only like 129 days away, believe it or not. 129 days. But don't necessarily expect those guys to repeat as having a great season that second year. Again, they find out your tendencies and the weaknesses and stuff. RG3, like I said, they found out. RG3, you get him outside the pocket and keep him from running, he can't pass. If you keep him in the keep him in the pocket, he can't pass. And that's what they did. They made sure they had rush integrity, kept him in the pocket, and made him throw, and he couldn't throw well. We may find that out about some other quarterbacks, that there's things. Because I look at, and this, let me be clear here. I can't stand the Eagles. I can't. And this is trying to be fair and balanced. And Eagle fans, if you check, and you'll know I'm right. Jalen Hurts gets happy feet really, really quick. It's like he gets back there. If his first read's not there, he's gone. He is literally gone. He's going to run the ball more times than not. And that's one of those things that teams look at and say, okay, take away the first read and make sure you have rush integrity, that there's not a lane for him to run in. And you stop him. And that's the kind of thing that happens. And I'm not trying to say that he's ass-ass, because you don't get to where he is and get that money that he did and be awful. He's a good quarterback. You won't say that about Dak Prescott. I'll say that. Is he as good as you guys think? I don't know that that's the case. I don't know that that's the case. Curtis, how long was that ago? Can't stand the Eagles. We all can agree on that. Treat Wagner well for all of us in the Seattle, Washington. Yeah, that was one of those ones that I wish Cowboys had signed him 2 years ago. I would have loved that. Let Mark Holmes cook. Cognac family. There you go. I like that. All right, good people. We have been here for the last hour. I guess I'll have to talk about our draft picks and stuff a little later. Maybe we'll do a live stream tomorrow night, but I'm a little tired because it was a long trip getting back. It was actually a long trip and a lot of work doing the draft itself, and getting back to my house and then back down here at the Red Brick House. I'm beat. Bone Crusher, what's up? Question mark, Mark. Eagles suck, but Dak just takes a sack. Alrighty. Alan Walker, you didn't see how many interceptions that your quarterback threw last year, did you? Dak only threw 9. How many did Jalen Hurts throw? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you. Good night, Cowboys Nation. Who's the Commanders' quarterback? Eagles need to worry about them Tampa Bay Bucks. There you go. All right, good people. We're going to roll up out of here. I appreciate you guys as always.
Turn out the lights. The party's over. They say that all good things must end. Call it a night. The party's over. And tomorrow and next year starts the same old thing.